And Paul, you're what?
47.
7? Right. So which means he no longer
47 in
which
shape.
means you no longer a unk, you a
47
papa.
in shape.
That means you a cooked papa.
Still,
you are no longer a unk.
Can still dunk.
So what he's doing from a psychological perspective is he's self-projecting his papa cooked self on you. Because honey, you're not cooked. But the papas are.
People looked at this as me dissing women.
Right.
No, that's not a diss toward women.
I got you.
I like cooked
You're
food.
saying you like a woman who's cooked,
who's
seasoned,
ready, who's seasoned,
who's experienced, who has wisdom. Technically, if a person was to eat that raw uncooked meat,
you might get sick.
they would become intoxicated with salmonella.
Come on.
So you don't want nothing that's raw. You need it to be fully cooked. So you can actually have a healthy relationship with no intoxication, no dysfunction, and no raw meat that's gonna have your ass sitting in my office, the doctor's office, because you ate something that wasn't ready. So listen, young fellas, because I'm 42 and cooked, make sure you get you a woman who is cooked, can cook, and will be able to cook. All right? There's a difference. Because from what Paul just said, and I just added to, if she's not cooked, she's raw meat. And anything raw, baby, will intoxicate you. It's not good for your health.
What's good? What's hood, YouTube? It's your boy Vick Reacts. Bumming at you with a brand new video, hey man. Today, we got a banger, man. Today, we got the Truth After Dark with Paul and Azar, guest starring Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. In this video, she talks about being cooked, date younger men that having a baby in her 40s. Now, if y'all don't know about Paul Pierce and Azar shit, the last episode I reacted to, actually, link will be in the description to that. He was talking to Azar about how cooked she is, you know what I'm saying? Her being 30 plus and being cooked, you know, in the dating market or whatever the case may be. Well, we all know Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, she's unmarried and she's supposed to be a doctor about relationships or some shit. And apparently she having a baby in her 40s. We gonna see. We gonna tune into the video. Before we tune into the video though, bro, if y'all like the intro at the beginning, be sure to like the video. Because if you like the intro, you gonna like the video. Comment you got something to say about the video or me. Subscribe if you're new for the content, man. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get it to it.
So we're so excited to have you. Like, we had to have you. You always spit that real shit, and I love it. So I'm gonna start it right off the bat because I have to get your opinion on something. Okay. So Paul just told me that I was cooked, and he said that all women after 30 are cooked, period. What are your thoughts on that?
I think I've seen that.
You see that? Because it's going viral, and everyone now is in my DMs telling me I'm cooked. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm 34. I get it. I might be a little cooked, but what do you feel about that?
And Paul, you're what?
47.
7? Right. So which means he no longer
47
a unk. Which means you no longer a unk, you a papa.
In shape.
That means you a cooked papa. You are no longer a unk.
Can still dunk.
So what he's doing from a psychological perspective is he's self-projecting his papa cooked self on you. Because honey, you're not cooked. But the papas are.
Hello.
But wait. Okay, but it's him saying it, but I'm saying it too. I'm 29. I'm not cooked. So what is, like, if everybody else said, what is that? Like younger kids said, what is that? I don't know.
They are.
Come through.
You are no longer unk, baby. You are a papa status.
All right.
You know what papas do, right? They watch grandkids and cook. You cooked. That's all you do.
No, I don't watch. I don't have no grandkids. So
her, on the other hand, she's still rare marinated meat. That's what that is.
Hello, rare marination.
She ain't even got to cooking yet. She not even nowhere near the grill yet.
Hello. That's why we was matching.
So for now on, for the entirety of this episode, I'm gonna call you Papa Pierce.
I'll take that.
That's what we gonna get, Papa Pierce.
Papa Pierce is comedy. I love that down.
He don't like it. He looking at you like.
All right, let's start. Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Let me say something. So
Gotta come back with something.
I'm a chef too, right? So, you know, I prep, you know, like the night before, like right now I'm marinating some steaks and some ribs, whatever. So when you marinating something, what that mean? It's not ready, right? It's not ready. It's in the refrigerator, right?
It's called preparation.
Okay, I don't want that.
It's called preparation.
All right, so I don't want something that's not ready. Okay, now, once you do the marinating, You do the time, you throw it in the oven. Now it's in the oven, right? It's in the oven, it's cooking. I don't want nobody that's cooking. Like, it ain't ready. It's not ready. It's in the oven, right? So now the time go by and years or whatever. Pull it out the oven. It's done. It's cooked, right?
He even storytell like a papa. Keep
No,
going.
listen.
going.
I like cooked food.
Okay.
So
She's cooked. You like her?
No.
we good.
What I'm saying is, people looked at this as me dissing women.
Right.
No, it's not a diss toward
I got
women.
you.
I like cooked
You're
food.
saying you like a woman who's cooked,
Who's
seasoned,
ready, who's seasoned,
who's experienced, who has wisdom.
See, so y'all took it out
who
of
has
context.
wisdom.
But that's
Gotcha.
not what he was saying.
Yes,
the
that's
first
exactly
time.
what. Don't
I
tell me
got
what
you.
I'm saying.
What he's saying is that the meat that's
that's-
marinated is still marinating and it's
Exactly.
preparing for the opportunity. He's saying a woman who is cooked,
Boom.
been there, done that,
Yeah.
has the wisdom, she has the
Boom.
experience, and so he don't have to teach her to marinate. He don't have to put her in the freezer. He ain't got to wait for her ass
Yeah.
to come out. He ain't got to put her on the oven and wait for the oven to go. She's ready. She comes already seasoned, ready, and fresh.
But
So
he's
ladies,
cleaning
no,
it
no,
up
let me- no,
because
no,
last
let me-
time
let
I
me
said
talk,
that,
let me
I like it.
talk.
Go ahead.
No, listen.
Go
though.
ahead.
And so I'm cleaning it up.
Clean it up.
So I'm like,
Clean it up.
listen, it wasn't a knock.
Okay.
It was a tee up.
Exactly.
Come
Now, and
on.
I was waiting for this episode to
Yeah.
like explain it.
Ain't no way this
No,
nigga just
this ain't no
backpedal.
knock on you being cooked. I like cooked food.
Well, so, baby girl,
Like-
he said you cook. That means you seasoned, you ready, you experienced, and you
she
wise.
cooked.
Ain't no way he just backpedal. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna ask my audience who's watching right now. I just got a real genuine question for y'all. If you had to choose, would you rather choose a 20-year-old, you know what I'm saying, or a 40-year-old, or a 30-year-old? Like, who's your ideal mate if you don't have one right now? Even if you do have one right now, your wife not gonna see this. Who's your ideal mate? What age would your ideal mate be? For me personally, mine's be around 25 to 20 to 27, somewhere around there. At my age right now, I'm 29, like I said. Let me know y'all's.
You cooked. We like cooked food.
Because I'm just wanting to know, like, if I'm like 35, if it was like 6 more years from now today, what would I, you know what I'm saying? At that time, what would I want? You know, would I still want a 25-year-old, or would I want to go ahead and find me like a 32, 31? You know, because I always wanted to know that, you know, with women like Cheyenne Bryant, who waited until her 40s, she's not even married yet still, but she waited till her 40s to even have a baby. I just want to know, like, the guys that's interested in her, is it going to be younger guys, like dudes my age that's trying to mess with that, or is it going to be like 45-year-old guys, you know, like Paul Pierce? I always wanted to know that, because I really don't be knowing how this shit be working.
Y'all ready to go.
And now Papa is cooking. Now
Right.
you're cooking, baby.
Papa Beers.
You ready to go. I got my to-go box. I'm going to throw y'all in that. We going to the crib.
I love it. Okay, clean it up.
Like that ain't
I'm
that
not
wasn't
mad at
so
it.
that wasn't a bad thing is
Okay,
what I'm saying.
yeah, okay.
But people want to talk to me like I'm down and with no, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good thing. So don't take it. And I know in society and how we word things, like, oh yeah, he's saying they washed. Washed is
That's
another
different.
word.
Yeah,
That's
you said
different.
cooked.
I said cooked.
Washed is different.
Washed is different.
Because
is true, though.
technically, let me say this because I love what you're saying, Paul. Technically, if a person was to eat that raw uncooked meat,
Yeah, you might get sick.
they would become
Come on.
intoxicated with salmonella.
Come on.
So you don't want nothing that's raw. You need it to be fully cooked. So you can actually have a healthy relationship with no intoxication, no dysfunction, and no raw meat that's gonna have your ass sitting in my office, the doctor's office,
Right.
because you ate something that wasn't ready.
Come on. Come
I like
on.
it, Paul.
Sing
why
to
I
the
was-
choir.
That's why I did it. And I was like, oh, they taking this as something that's bad. Nah, this ain't
And
bad.
it's not.
It's not
It's
bad.
not,
If I say you cook,
Hey, he did in the video. He did say she does have a market, because they do. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna lie. Would I mess with somebody older than 30? Of course I would, bro. And I can't even say that I wouldn't take nobody serious over 30, because it really depends on the person. It depends what they coming with. It depends what they bring. It depends on the vibe. You know, it depends on all those things all together. At the end of the day, I don't feel like age is a limiting factor. how she's saying you don't want nothing uncooked or whatever. Just because a woman is under 20 or under 30 don't mean that she's uncooked. You know, that all that comes with experience and time. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, do most men want a female that's cooked, or do they want a female that's unexperienced, you know, that don't have no really grasp on life? You know, I really don't. I done tried talking, you know what I'm saying? When I was younger, I done tried talking to females around my age, 19, when I was 19, 20, 21. They minds do be a little different, bro. You really do be having to coach them through shit. Like, you really do. Versus females that's 25, 26, like, you, like, like you get the innocence and stuff like that, you know, because they ain't been through too much. They ain't been through too many heartbreaks. They ain't been through too many bodies or nothing. But you still get, you know, a little experience. You know, they done had experiences with a guy. They'd probably been in one relationship and they fucked them up, you know what I'm saying? Or they decided to leave, you know, whatever the case may be. At that age, between 22 through 27, 28, for women and men both, I feel like most people done been into a serious relationship and done figured out what happened through it. It just depends on how they learned from that situation. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't think it's really an age thing. I think it's just a mentality thing. You know?
That mean you ready.
So listen, young fellas, because I'm 42 and cooked. Make sure you get you a woman who is cooked, can cook, and will be able to cook. All right? There's a difference. Because from what Paul just said, and I just added to, if she's not cooked, she's raw meat. And anything raw, baby, will intoxicate you. It's not good for your health.
Speak that. Speak that. Speak that.
Now it makes sense now.
I love that. I love that.
I'm not here to diss women. I'm here to like say, hey, cooked is amazing.
It's crazy though, Paul Pierce backpedaling.
For everyone in my DM.
But he might be meaning that though, because it is a difference between cooked and washed. It is a difference between cooked and washed. Cooked just mean that it's, you know what I'm saying? It washed, it's over with. You know what I'm saying? So it is the difference. Hey, if Paul Pierce really meant that, it is what it is. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying, do too much. But if it's me, I'm standing on what I said. I'm standing on business. Hey, I'm standing on business.
That I'm cooked. It's amazing, baby. That's why when he said that, I said, I'm cooked and I taste delicious.
That's why all these young boys,
come on,
y'all like unseasoned meat. Y'all like.
No, it's the older men that like that. It's not the young ones.
That's true. The younger men like the cook. They like the cooked meat.
They know what's going on.
Let me tell you, they know.
It's the older ones who wants that unseasoned shit.
Yes, and then young men are willing to wine and dine and prepare.
They are.
The table for the cooked
for sure.
meat.
They do.
Trust me. The older men sitting back with papa stands like you with their glass in their hand saying, when you gonna serve daddy? When you gonna serve me?
Make daddy a sandwich.
Make daddy a Sammy. Make me a Sammy.
Make daddy a sandwich.
I ain't gonna, she ain't lying though. Them young bulls catch me when I was 19, 20, and I found the cougar. Bro, back then, you know, you doing everything. You trying every trick in the book. You really trying to, bro, back then, you really trying to plead a bit. Like, you trying to hold the nut to make sure you go Jose. You trying to go Jose. So I know back then, when I was Jose, bruh, I would have been doing a lot. So I can't even deny what she's saying. Because when I was a young bull on God, I was trying to hit damn near everything. Teachers, I'm looking at them. I'm trying to go in. I'm trying to, real talk.
Look, while she already cooked, he want a sandwich.
Exactly.
Make daddy a sandwich.
I'm done.
Like Anthony Mackie said, make daddy a
But
sandwich.
let me answer that, because a cooked seasoned woman
We'll make daddy
will
a
make
sandwich.
daddy a sandwich. Hold on, and then come back and say, more?
Hello.
Or did you need dessert?
I need
doing?
dessert.
See, that's why you want to
That
cook
she is,
women.
that's crazy.
Because she gonna make the sandwich. She gonna
I can
cook
see
a
what she's
meal
saying,
and say,
fool.
anything else?
Don't get, like, she, at the end of the day, I'ma say she count because she's 40. But what she's saying makes sense though. If she messing with some real gullible dudes, everything she sound perfect. Because you could just imagine her. What she's saying right now, you could just imagine her bringing you to plate the sandwich. You know they gonna bring it sexy. She probably gonna be wearing some very sexy shit, looking fucking gorgeous. Bring that fucking plate to you. How you going OZ, eat it. She gonna come back. You want anything else? Looking sexy as fuck saying it. Bro, you know it. You know, cause you, like, you just know. It's OZ. But what is the extra to it? Cause why is you still like, it ain't no way any man you done met so far ain't wanna just say, fuck it, let me do you. Like, let me go ahead and put that ring on it. Like, if you really OC, a man gonna say, fuck it, let me put the ring on it. So why hasn't you had a ring on you? You know what I'm saying? That is a man question. You know, I do understand that some females have very high standards, and it might be that, you know, all the men that she done had hasn't been to that high standard yet. That could be it. That could be it. Because I'm the same way. Shit, if I meet a female, I might crash, but you gonna have to be OC for me to actually want to stay with you and be with you and be in a relationship with you and actually be happy with you. You know what I'm saying? She might be the same way.
Hold on, Daddy.
Preach.
Anything else?
Come on.
Preach.
Is your
Speak it.
glass half empty?
Yeah.
We're gonna make it half full.
So
What we
now
need?
I'm glad we had a chance to clear this up, bringing Doc on. Listen, I had to explain that because I got a lot of flack. Cooked is good, girl.
And y'all came for me heavy. Y'all trifling for that.
So you youngins or who you oldens or whoever
Oldens.
you is,
You papas.
listen, cook is cracking.
Cooked is cracking.
Cook is cracking.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. So now
That's
my
fucked.
next question for you is, I don't know if you've seen this, but Paul said, I'm coming for Paul tonight. Paul said that marriage is for old and poor people. What do you believe? How do you feel about that?
Well,
Hold
y'all.
on. Paul, listen. Paul cooked again. Because, he cooked again. He liked cook because he cooking. Studies show that the poor folks who marry. Now, I come from the hood. I come from very humble beginnings, so I'm going off studies. I have no problem with
Long Beach in the house.
right? Yes, but what I'm saying, studies do show that that marriage is more successful, long-lasting, less stressful, and happy when two people actually have money that provides resources for a great quality of life. He's correct.
Talk to him.
Marriage,
Talk
when
about it.
folks who don't have financial stability, which provides resources for a great quality of life, which in return makes it to where your stress levels are low and you can actually enjoy each other, the divorce rate is much, much higher. Much, much higher. Much higher. So, I mean, in reality, you know, back in the day, marriage was a privilege, and it was only a privilege for the folks who were wealthy. That's just the truth of the matter. Like, folks who were not economically stable didn't have the privilege of being able to be married. And when I look back on it, of course, I think marriage should be available an option to anyone without discrimination. But if you really look at it, when two people get married who are not ready, we're not even talking about just mental health wise, right, emotional intelligence wise, but economically, they are marrying into a deficit because they are not able to provide each other the full essence of the quality of life that they want in a marriage, even for themselves individually. And I have yet to meet a man, and I say and I've been in my field 17 years, I have yet to meet a man, no matter how you know, on the lower economic status he was, on the high economic status he was, who did not want to, at some point, be able to provide for his woman. Even if he couldn't, there was something in that man that said, like, at some point, I would love to be able to provide economically for my woman. And when a man can't, it shifts the dynamic in that marriage, and it does put that man in a deficit in many ways. And oftentimes, that man doesn't know how to process those emotions, identify how he feels, and say, listen, you know, maybe I am a little disconnected from you. Maybe you do feel that there is some type of barrier between us that I'm unaware of, but, you know, I'm not able to be at my full potential with you. And so it does affect me. And anything that affects that man is going to affect the entire dynamic of that relationship. And if you have kids, then who is getting the short end of the stick? Those babies.
Absolutely.
And so this is why I always say to people, I'm 42 and I'm not married with any kids yet. I'm ready now. But I wanted to purposely wait till I was educated, until I had my career. I wanted to wait until I was economically stable enough to provide a life for my children and choose a man from not a perfect place, but a healthy place. So that I can say I'm not only choosing a husband, but I'm choosing a father for my kids before I even, you know, procreate with this man. A lot of folks who do marriage early are choosing codependently a partner who can satisfy their trauma in that space. And they trauma bond. And after that trauma's healed or that trauma shifts, those conditions are gone. So guess what's also gone? The bond. Because if the trauma changes, which is what's the glue to the bond, then the bond has to change. So now we say we outgrew each other. No, y'all never were with each other. You were with each other's traumas.
Ooh.
You don't even know this man.
That's only one side of the stick, though. It's more situations, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely on the situation, but I feel like at the end of the day, if you're not willing to die for a person, you should marry him. And I'm talking about both ways. If a woman isn't willing to die for the man, don't marry him. If the man isn't willing to die for the woman, don't marry. That's how I feel at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, that's all that matters. Communication. I don't feel like if you marry, you should never divorce. I don't understand divorce at all. I don't understand it. Because you decided to marry this person. Why even divorce about some bullshit? When at the end of the day, it's supposed to be love at the end of the day. So, but that is one side of the stick. It's multiple reasons why. At the end of the day, just make sure you fuck with somebody. If you're willing to die for them, you fuck with them. That's all. That's how I look at it.
Ooh. Damn.
Wait a minute.
No.
So
Okay, go.
Go for it, Paul.
you said. Sorry.
What is
So you still want to get married and you still want kids?
What's so funny about that?
No, I'm just saying. Like I feel
You said,
like
what's so
no.
funny?
I just feel
Yeah,
like
why was you laughing?
no. This is not a not. This is just like I feel like when you get older, like this is the time to enjoy more life. This is not the time to be like. You should be looking to travel the world.
I feel that too. I was thinking that shit in my head. I'm like, you want to wait till you 40. That mean if you have a baby at 40, that kid's going to turn 18. You're going to be 58, almost 60 years old. If your kids decided to wait how long you waited, you wouldn't even be able to see your fucking grandkids be born. Now, obviously, she don't care about having a big family because if she did, she would have started early. You know, obviously, she just want, whatever, a son or a daughter to raise them, and then she want her life to be damn near over. Because at 58, don't get me wrong, like you still have time to travel and stuff, but you're 60 at this time. You know, it's going to be a great amount heavier to be able to travel, especially while your kid is in college still. You know, I don't know. I really don't know. You know, it's not my life. It's not my life. But if it's me personally, I would want to be traveling around the time I'm 40 through 50. You know what I'm saying? The kids will have to be grown around that time. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, 60, whether you're traveling at 50 or 60, is it any difference? I don't know.
Like see the world because we on the back nine. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the back nine.
You are, not me. Papa, you, not me.
I'll take that.
I'm still
on the
auntie.
back. Yeah, you auntie. But I just feel like once the 40s hit, it should be like, man, you know what? That's all good because, like, you know, kids take up a lot of time. And kids will redirect the
The
relationship.
whole plans.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and I just feel like for me, it like, this is the thing. I fell in love with what I was in love with the situation, how they were before the kid. And the dynamic of the kid, because you don't have no script for this. When the kid come, the whole dynamic of the relationship changed now.
Especially for the man. Let's keep it real.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially for the man.
Because now you go.
For the woman too. Why would it
and
not
it's
change for the
funny
woman?
because I look in public relationships like how a lot of famous like actors or actresses, like they divorce within the first few years of having
you know
kids.
why, right? Paul, you cook again, I'm about to put your ass back on the grill. What you cooking? Because
I know what I'm talking about.
Divorce happens within the first year
Of kids.
of birth.
Yeah.
Within the first year.
Yeah.
That's when divorce happens. And if the folks are not married, that's when separation or breakup happens within the first year of that
But I'll
child.
tell you why too.
Go for it, yeah.
Like, because like you fall in love, you meet a girl or you meet a guy, you fall in love with like, damn, I love that, you know, how we are right now. We travel, it's sex every day, and it's glazing in your eyes, and we're going here, we're going there, we're going there. So now the pregnancy comes. Those things stop.
Stay there. The pregnancy comes. What does that mean for the man's position in that relationship? Explain that to us as a man.
As a man, you fell in love with what made you fell in love with. Like, we going here, we going there. It's
Yeah, the convenience,
spontaneous.
the spontaneity of doing
Yeah,
things, the get up and
yeah,
go, my
yeah.
go-to, my road dog.
My
Yes.
man, let's go. Like wake up, go, boom, do this, and then all that just stops, and then it's just like, damn, we ain't even doing the same stuff. But like, it changes the whole dynamic, and it's just like, damn, now you get so deep into pregnancy, now the sex stops, and that stops for a minute. Like a minute, and that's what and that the sex ain't what made you fall in love. It's just the whole friendship, all of this, and like you got to go
but
through
the
it.
sex is a part of the expression of love.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real, because
Yeah.
when we're talking about casual sex, then sex is an act for pleasure. But when we're talking about relationship, marital sex, where like you're saying we love each other, you might go to my ace, boom. That sex is a part of the expression of love now. It satisfies the duality of, okay, physically, yeah, we may orgasm, but emotionally and spiritually, right? This is a way for us to be in tune and connect and be in our space and get our vibe and be in ecstasy together and take ourselves like into an outer body experience sexually. If you're doing it in the way that's not casual and you're really plugged into the person. That's the experience. So you get more than a internal orgasm. You get that external orgasm, and now you have a duality of what you're talking about, that connection that fuses people, not just the orgasm.
Agreed.
And in saying that, when that stops for like months, it could be a year. It's like,
But I want to ask you this, because you're hitting, I've been in my field 17 years, you're hitting the number one complaints I get from all of my married men who come in session with me. What is the impact of the stopping of the intimacy, which is sex and intimacy, the connection with your woman, I get to have her, available and conveniently for me, for us. I want to know, what are the impacts of that on a man for you?
well, this is what you fell in love with. You fell in love with that. So now that get taken away from you. And then now, not only does that get taken away from you, now from getting 100% of the attention, man, you might go from 100 to now you getting 30%, because when the baby comes, that's like because from a woman, that connection is a different connection now. When you birth a kid, you birth a kid.
Yeah.
Like that come from that's like it came from your soul. Like now.
And now that woman has to assume a duality of mama and wife.
Yeah.
And the man only has to stay in one row, husband. Because at the beginning of a child's infancy, with all due respect, they don't need you for survival. They need you for presence and love, of course, but they don't need you for survival, right? They need mom, especially if she's breastfeeding. And so the man, 100%, Paul, gets pushed out of that dynamic, totally out of it. And a lot of women who are either fatherless girls or they had father in the home, because I always say you can have a present parent that also presents trauma. So just because a parent is present doesn't mean that it doesn't present trauma. But if you're also a woman in the household who didn't see your mom navigate mommyhood and wifehood and balance that, then that woman doesn't know how to do that. On top of that, she may be experiencing postpartum. And let me go another route that we don't talk about enough. Men also experience postpartum, but we don't talk about it.
What is that?
It's when there is a hormone imbalance, right, from a woman giving birth.
For a man, though.
Oh, for a man. Oh, for a man. Oh, it's well, just like you and your woman are connected.
Yeah.
You're in tune. If me and her are in a house for 60 days, 3 months, our menstrual cycles end up being on the same cycle. You know that, right? Naturally. Did you know that? If women live together for a short period of time, all of our cycles in the house end up being on the same cycle. We will start our period on the same day.
Why?
Even if you just hang out with a woman a lot.
Yeah.
100%.
I heard that shit. Shit crazy.
Like I can hang out with a
100%.
homegirl, kick it with her for a few weeks, like a month, and next episode, like my period will shift.
There you
Like
go.
it was on the 17th, now it's coming on the 3rd because yours comes on the 3rd.
There you go. So if that happens
Yeah.
amongst women who are just girlfriends, how hormonally connected and intertwined do you think you and your woman are, who, let's just say, is your wife and she's having your child?
Damn, I never thought about that.
And so, women,
I don't think us as men are affected by the same ways females are. But I get what she could be hinting at, but I definitely think that men are stronger than women, so I don't think that our waves and frequencies and shit like that would connect like that. I mean, we don't have a half period, so. But I can see what she hitting at, though.
You do need care around that time. But I always have an issue with that. And again, I'm going to disclaim it again. Women need all the care and support and love around birth and postpartum and all of that. However, men get shut out of also experiencing postpartum and being shut out of the family dynamic because now you're the outsider. And there's a new little bundle of joy that I have yet to meet a man who's not overly excited and in love with their child, but they're also trying to navigate where do I fit in this equation now without me sounding selfish and crazy, right? And telling her, I feel like you're putting the baby before me, because most men don't know how to express that without feeling guilty because they're going, wait, but she's supposed to mother my child.
Yeah.
And I want my child to not go without this experience. And I don't want to take the experience from my wife. So then the man ends up being in a position of having to process all that shit on his own or with his boys, or I'm going to go there with his side chick. And I'm just keeping it real because those are all real dynamics. Where a man then ends up stepping out. I'm not condoning it. I'm just speaking what really happens a lot of times. They end up stepping out to get what they believe, or not even believe, their experiences missing, that they're the deficit. To feel that deficit, it doesn't make it right, but we're talking about the reality of what happens. And then what happens with the woman? She's left at home to be a single mama in a house where she has a family.
Ooh.
So she don't have a broken home because everybody in the house. But guess what? She got a broken family because that house is impaired.
Damn. But you know, like,
And I guess that's why she was saying it's important for women to be cooked, essentially because of the fact that if they was to have a baby, they wouldn't let the baby overshadow the marriage. Because it's on both parties to put, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, like it's a baby. Like she was saying, like it's a baby. It's important to be there for the baby and shit and all that shit. But at the end of the day, we still married. We still need each other's attention too. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's understandable why at the end of the day you do want a woman that's gonna take care of the kids, but you also want a woman that's gonna put you up there too. She's not gonna let that baby overshadow everything. You know, she's still gonna give you attention. She's still gonna let you hit. You know, she's still gonna work with you, knowing that what you need too, you know, as a man. So it's real. I mean, I see what she's saying.
like as a woman myself who doesn't have children, hearing things like this does not motivate me to want to have kids.
discourages you, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm cool. Like, I'll just be with my man. We could hit it. We could travel. Like, hearing this, it's like, damn. Like, of course I'm a nurturing woman. I have a motherly instinct. And I've always felt like, okay, I could be a mom and I want to be a mom. But as I get older and I view these different relationships and I see how it makes the relationship so strained and they're so stressed out. Like, I don't know one relationship that did not go through that and is not strained because of that. So it just doesn't motivate me to want to do that.
With the right tools, right? And this is why I say therapy and life coaching, that should be a lifestyle.
For sure.
As a preventative measure, not an intervention, right? But to Paul's point in question about being 42 and wanting to be married and me wanting to wait till I was of age is exactly what you said.
Yeah.
With time, you get wisdom. And with seeing
Just said
things
that.
and allowing other people's experiences to expose you to things that help you to have better decision-making skills, it saves you a lot of the bullshit that people are going through in their 20s and 30s when they're married young.
True.
You have kids, right?
Yes.
And can I ask how many?
Yeah, I have 4 kids.
4 kids. Okay. By one woman, just
2.
2. Okay. So you're not with them, I'm guessing. Okay. So I'm not saying had you did it now, you would still be with them, but I know for sure had you did it now, you would, one, have done it differently, or you would have figured out how to do it in a way where you can actually have a family with whoever you're doing it with. That comes with wisdom at the age of your age 47. But at 23 or 30, whether you were thinking family or not, more than likely not.
No, I was thinking family when I happened.
Okay.
I was 30 when I started.
Did you get married to either one of them?
Yeah, I did.
You married both of them?
No, the first.
The first, but not the second? Okay, right. So at 47, you don't meet too many men who are procreating with or before marriage. Usually they're in the mindset you just said, I'm 47, I want to travel the world, right? I'm more responsible now because of my irresponsibilities, because experience teaches, words don't. So through your experiences, you learn what to do and what not to do. So men and women become better with age because of their experience. Experience gives you wisdom. Words do not, because they don't teach. So for me as a woman of age, I always want to make sure that I was having my kids in equity, not a deficit, because of my own inability to make good decisions on behalf of them. So at 23 or 30 years old, or maybe even 35, my decision making may have chose a situation that puts my kids in a deficit. Now, your children are blessings, no matter how you look at it, they just are. But they were still born in a deficit because they didn't get the experience of a full household and a full present father. Even if you were on the road playing ball, that's different, knowing that daddy's out there getting it for our household than it is to say he has kids with another woman. So that could possibly why he can't be here with us in this time or can't be present all the time. Doesn't mean that the kids are doomed. We're just talking about the deficit of something as small as a decision causes. And as we choose, but as we become better, we date better, we choose better, we marry better, and guess what we do? We parent better. And if people take their time, then they can really avoid doing time.
Now, what do you say to the women that
I ain't gonna lie, fool. Shit makes sense. I'ma still call cap on it just cause I feel like saying cap. But in all honesty, everything makes sense about what she's saying, dog. I ain't gonna. Experience does bring wisdom, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, the longer you do wait, the better decisions you do end up making. You know, this is facts. We know this as men, and women know that too. If they wait and hold that virginity for the right guy, you know, in Africa they be 40 still virgins. So at the end of the day, you holding some certain shit like that, being patient, it does always work out. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. So great vid. I'm gonna leave it at there. If y'all want me to react to the rest of this, you know what I'm saying? I only went 30 minutes in a video. I could make 3 parts out this video. Just let me know if y'all want me to do that. This has been the first part. I appreciate y'all for tuning in right now. Be sure to comment, like I said, if you enjoyed it. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch at the top. Be sure to tune into my other social so I can stay tuned in with y'all, man. It's been your boy Vick Reacts, and I appreciate you tuning in. Stay up and be blessed. Peace.